Hello, my name is Miss Angelica Tindel, but you can call me Ate Tindel or Miss Tindel. Today, we are on a virtual tour of the places Rizal visited and his life during those days. Jose Rizal's travel in sunny Spain. After finishing the fourth year of the medical course in the University of Santo Tomas, Rizal decided to complete his studies in Spain. Aside from completing his studies in Spain, Rizal has his secret mission, was to observe European nations. Rizal's departure for Spain was kept secret to avoid detection by the Spanish authorities and the friars. On May 3, 1882, Rizal departed on board the Spanish steamer Salvadora bound for Singapore. On May 9, 1882, the Salvadora docked at Singapore. Here in Hotel de la Paz, Rizal registered here and spent 2 days. From Singapore to Colombo, in Singapore, Rizal transferred to another ship, the Gemna, and left Singapore for Europe on May 11, 1882. On May 17, 1882, the Gemna reached Point Gale. May 18, 1882, in Colombo, Ceylon, Rizal was enamored by Colombo because of its scenic beauty and elegant buildings. Aden, Yemen, Rizal described the city hotter than Manila and was amused to see the camels fall for the first time. Suez Canal, Rizal was impressed in the beautiful moonlight which reminded him of Calamba and his family. He then went to Port Said, which is the Mediterranean terminal of the Suez Canal. In Europe, on June 11, 1882, Rizal reached Naples. Night of June 12, 1882, the steamer docked at the French harbor of Marseilles, Italy. Rizal stayed 2.5 days in Marseilles. In Barcelona, Rizal crossed the Pyrenees and stopped for a day at the frontier town of Portbou. June 16, 1882, Rizal finally reached his destination, Barcelona. Las Ramblas is the most famous street in Barcelona. El Amor Patrio or Love of Country is a nationalistic essay Rizal's first article written on Spain's soil. Under his pen name Laong Laan, appeared in print in Diaryong Tagalog on August 20, 1882. It was published in 2 texts, Spanish and Tagalog. The Spanish text was the one originally written by Rizal in Barcelona. The Tagalog text was a Tagalog translation made by M.H. Del Pilar. Revista de Madrid or Review of Madrid. Rizal's third article written in Madrid on November 29, 1882, but returned to him because the Diaryong Tagalog had ceased publication for lack of funds, Los Viajes or Travels. Rizal's second article for Diaryong Tagalog. Manila moves to Madrid. While sojourning in Barcelona, Rizal received sad news about the cholera that was ravaging Manila and the provinces. Many people had died and more were dying daily. Sad news from the Philippines was the chatty letter of Chengoy recounting the unhappiness of Leonor Rivera, who was getting thinner because of the absence of loved one. Life in Madrid. He enrolled at University Central de Madrid. He enrolled in 2 courses, medicine and philosophy and letters. He studied painting and sculpture at Academy Fine Arts of San Fernando. He also took private lessons in German, French, and English, and Hall of Arms of Sanzi Carbonell. Rizal spent his leisure time reading and writing at his boarding house, attending the reunions of Filipino students at the house of the Paterno brothers, who are Antonio, Maximo, and Pedro, and practicing fencing and shooting at the gymnasium. Antigua Cafe de Levante during the summer twilights, this is where Rizal sipped coffee and fraternized with the students from Cuba, Mexico, and Argentina. On Saturday evenings, Rizal visited the home of Pablo Ortiga Iri, who lived with his son Rafael and daughter Consuelo. Me piden versos. They asked me for verses. Upon the request of the members of this society, Rizal wrote this poem which he personally declaimed during the New Year's Eve reception of the Madrid Filipinos held in the evening of December 31, 1882. In this sad poem, Rizal poured out the cry of his agonizing heart. Rizal economized on his living expenses, and with the money he saved, he purchased books from a second-hand bookstore owned by a certain Senor Roses. He was able to build a fair-sized library. He was deeply affected by these two books, The Beecher's Toes, Uncle Tom's Cabin, and Eugene Sue's The Wandering Jew. These two books aroused his sympathy for the oppressed and unfortunate Filipino. Rizal's first visit to Paris. During his first summer vacation in Madrid, Rizal went to Paris, France. This is where Rizal stayed, and this is where also Rizal stayed on in Rue du Rennes in the Latin Quarter. Here are some of the attractive sites in Paris. The first one is the Opera House in Paris. This was built between 1862 to 1875. Next is the Arc of Triomphe. The Arc de Triomphe honors those who fought and died for France during the French Revolution. Cathedral of Notre Dame. Cathedral Church in Paris. It is the most famous of the Gothic cathedrals of the Middle Ages. Next is Bois de Boulogne, Paris. The Bois de Boulogne is a large public park. Next is Champs-Élysées, often described as the world's most beautiful avenue. Next is Madeleine Church. The Church of Saint Marie Madeleine, or less formally La Madeleine, is a Catholic parish church of a place Madeleine in the 8th arrondissement of Paris. Versailles. The Palace of Versailles is a former royal residence built by King Louis, located in Versailles. Louvre. The Louvre is the world's largest museum and house one of the most impressive art collections in history. Luxembourg. Presently, the Luxembourg Palace is the seat of the Senate of the Fifth Republic. Laennec Hospital, a grassy courtyard with a covered walkway bordering one edge. The walkway is open facing the courtyard and lined within arches. There is a small building with arched windows and a narrow spired tower beyond the walkway. This is the end of our virtual tour. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. Have a good day, tourists.